Hi, sweet boy. Tonight we're going to read a book called Goodnight Moon. This was Ethan and Marissa's favorite book. They both loved it. Now, the secret to this book is, remember how some pages are black and white and some pages have color? All the colored pages, there's a hidden mouse you have to find. You have to try to find the little mouse on those pages, okay? So you got to keep your eyes open and get your finger ready because you have to point to the little mouse, okay? So keep your finger ready and point to the mouse. Goodnight Moon. Look at that. There's a little, oh, it's on this side. The title page. What is this called? This part. Do you remember what this is part? Look what this part is called. The cover of the book. Good job, buddy. The cover. The spine. Excellent. You're doing great. And the back cover. Okay. The back cover. The spine of the book. Remember, we have a spine in our back too. We have a spine right down the center of our back. And here's the cover once again. The cover has the title, the author, and the illustrator. The title is Goodnight Moon. The author is Margaret Wise Brown. And the pictures or the illustrator is Clement Hurd. When someone says, "Oh, I drew the pictures to that book," that means they're an illustrator. They illustrated the book. If someone says, "Oh, I wrote that book," that means they're an author. An author is the person who writes the book. All right, let's get started. Now remember, have your pointer finger ready because you have to point to the little mouse on the colored pages, not the black and white, the color pages. Get your finger ready. Goodnight Moon. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of, do you see a little mouse? Do you see him? You see him now? He's right there. Did Auntie find him before you did? Gotta find that mouse. And a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. There were 3 little bears sitting in chairs, and 2 little kittens, and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house, and a young mouse. Do you see the mouse in this one? Do you see him? Auntie doesn't see him. I don't remember where he is. Oh, I see him now. I see him. Right there. Right there. There's that silly mouse. And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush. And a quiet old lady whispering, "Hush." Good night, room. Do you see the mouse? Do you see the little mouse? I don't see him again. I'm going to have to take a look. Do you have your book with you, Angel? I know you have this book. Are you looking at your book? Auntie's going to have to turn. Oh, I see him. Do you see him? Right there. There's that little mouse. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. The mouse. I don't see him, Angel. Where is he? Where's that sneaky little mouse? Oh, I see him. Do you see him? Point to him. Ready? Auntie's going to point to him. 1, 2, 3. There he is. Got him right there, huh? Silly mouse. Good night, kittens, and good night, mittens. Good night, clocks, and good night, socks. You see little mouse? I don't see him again, Angel. I'm going to have to take a look. Maybe we can sit this way. You see the book better like that? That darn light. I don't see him, Angel. Where is he? Do you see him? Auntie can't see him. Where is the little mouse? Oh, I see him. I see him. Look at Angel. Uh-oh, I lost him. Oh, darn it, crackers. Oh, I see him again. Okay, ready? He's right there. You see him right there? Right there. Silly mouse. He's right at the edge of the page. See, he's right there. Right there. I missed him. That's where my finger was. Sneaky little mouse. Good night, little house, and good night, mouse. Good night, comb, and good night, brush. Do you see him? I see him. This one was easy. For me. Is it easy for you, Angel? Do you see him? Look. Right there. Do you see him? There he is, that silly little mouse. Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. And good night to the old lady, whispering. You see the mouse, Angel? And he doesn't see him again. I'm going to have to... Oh, I do see him. I see him. I see him. Should I give you a hint? Do you see him? Where's the mouse? Where is he? I think he's eating some mush, Angel. Let's look. He is. He's right by the bowl. Do you see him right by the bowl? Where's that bowl? Oh, there it is. He's right there. You see that little mouse? Right there. You see him? You need to get your book, Angel, so you can see him. Good night, stars, and good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. Do you see the little mouse? I see him. Can I give you a clue? Look by the window. Do you see the windows? He's hiding there on the window. Right there. Do you see him? Okay, now Auntie's just going to read the book really fast to you, and we're not going to look for the mouse this time. This time we're going to listen to rhyming. Remember? Remember rhyming? Rhyming is when it sounds the same at the end of a word, not the beginning. The end. The end sounds the same. So you can listen for the end sounding the same, and then maybe sometimes you could even pause the video and talk about which words rhyme. Which words rhyme? Okay, Goodnight Moon. Goodnight Moon. In the great green room there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there were 3 little bears sitting in chairs and 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens and a little toy house and a young mouse. And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush and a quiet old lady whispering, "Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light in the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens, and good night, mittens. Good night, clocks, and good night, socks. Good night, little house, and good night, mouse. Good night, comb, and good night, brush. Good night, nobody, and good night, mush. And good night to the old lady, whispering, good night, stars, and good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. Angel, this is my favorite page. Look at how beautiful the stars and the moon look. And look at the lights are on in the house. See the little house? The lights are on. Did you notice? I love this page. It's my favorite. Good night, Angel. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Auntie loves you. Bye, sweet boy.